Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today here at Social Media Day. As mentioned, it's actually my second time here, so I'm so excited to be invited back and to chat with you guys today about how you can leverage AI in the social media workflow. So just to kind of set the tone here, tell you what you have in store for today, I want to first go off by talking about myself, giving you a little bit of background about me, companies that I've worked for before, what got me here, the importance of efficiency in social media. Why is it important in the first place for us to be efficient and productive? Then I want to go into the social media workflow. Hopefully it looks a little familiar to you guys of how we go through our day-to-day, how we bring our social strategy to life. And then lastly, to get to the bulk of my presentation, which are different AI tools you can use within your social media workflow to help speed up the process, to help make you more efficient. And then end with some actionable takeaways, because I want to give you guys something. I want you to walk away with something you can actually act upon and hopefully help make you and your team and maybe your whole company more efficient. All right, sound good? Great, love it. All right, so starting off a little bit about me. As mentioned, my name is Lauren. Hi, hello, nice to meet you. I am a social media manager at Canva. I have been there for about 2.5 years now. Raise of hands, who is familiar with Canva? Do we know it? Oh my God, I've never had someone like, everyone raise their hands at the same time. That's amazing. In case there's anyone here who doesn't, there was just a sea of hands go up, which was amazing. Canva is an online global visual communications tool designed to empower the world to design. So you can create everything from presentations, documents, social posts, and we have a whole suite of AI products, which I'll talk a little bit more about today. Another little activity, raise of hands, who uses Canva? I know you all know of it. Okay, so almost the same amount, love it. Definitely want to chat with you guys afterwards of what you use it for, do some little research. Prior to Canva, I was at Shutterfly. I worked on their growth innovation team, which just meant that I met with different department heads trying to find ways that we can grow our audience through A/B testing on social. So I've definitely got that analytical background as well. And then prior to that, I was actually at Taco Bell on their social media team. I helped develop their whole social media strategy from organic social, paid social, and even influencer activations. So overall, 10 years experience in social, digital PR. And if you couldn't tell by now, I'm already out of breath. I love to chat, I love to talk. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys afterwards, hopefully during lunch and the networking, just to get to know you guys better and answer any questions you may have. And I promise if I don't have the answer to it, I guarantee I know someone who does. All right. So let's get into the importance of efficiency in social media. Why is it important to be efficient at all in social media? Why do we need to be on it? Well, first off, we need to be timely. This is the biggest one, right? Especially when it comes to content and trends. You don't want to be that brand or that company that posts a trend or a meme or something like a month afterwards. We don't want to be that. We want to stay far away from that. It's also important to be timely with approvals, right? I'm sure a lot of you have to deal with getting ideas or campaigns approved by your boss or higher ups, everything like that. And then also it's important to be timely with engagement. And, you know, God forbid, crisis management. Hopefully we don't have to deal too much with that. But it is really important to always be on it. And by being efficient in social media and our whole workflow, we can definitely make sure that we're always timely with this stuff. Second we have here is you need to be consistent. That's why it's important to be efficient on social media, consistent with your audience engagement, making them know that, you know, you're here, you're listening, you're watching, not to sound like Big Brother or anything, but, you know, you're acting upon things that they want to see and that they're telling you. And then also it's important to be consistent with your content. That doesn't mean that the content should all look the same, but it does mean you should be consistently posting about it, right? Again, telling people we're here, we're with everything, like we're continually updating whatever your brand may be. And then being consistent with your brand. You know, social media is the front lines of communication, right? I don't know about you guys, but if there's a restaurant or a celebrity or a brand, company, anything like that, I always go to their Instagram first, maybe TikTok, Twitter, whatever your fancy is, but I never really go to the website. Social media is those front lines. Third reason why it's important to be efficient in social media is you need to be fluid. And by being efficient in social media, there's always going to be those moments where you have to pivot and you have to be flexible and you have to change something. So it's important to be building in that buffer zone, fluid with your strategy, with your content, good things like that, always optimizing your content. And then fourth, it's important to be efficient in social media because you always need to be prioritizing not just social media managers' time, but your creative team's time, production time, and just your resources in general. By being efficient, you can make sure that you are being timely, you're being consistent, you're building in that buffer zone that you need, and you're prioritizing things so that you're using your time and effort that's going to make the biggest impact for your brand and company. All right, so let's get into the social media workflow. So our social media strategy, what goes into it? There's the what are you posting? There's the when you're posting it, where you're posting it, what channels you're posting it on, who you're posting it for, who you want to speak to, and why you're posting it, which is, I like to say, why share, why care? Why as a brand are you sharing this content, and why as the audience are they going to care? But if you notice here, we're missing one. We've got the what, when, where, who, why, but we're missing the how. How do we implement social strategy? Through a social media workflow. So this is how we bring our social strategy to life. All of those hard things that you're working on to build your brand, this comes to life through your workflow. So this should look a little familiar to you guys, right? You've got the research stage, which is your brainstorming, competitor analysis, whether you're making a whole social strategy, a campaign, or an individual post. You always need to do some sort of research, gain the insights. From there, once you have an idea, you start planning, right? You have your storyboarding, your pitching to someone who needs to approve it, your briefing to a creative team to bring it to life. After that comes the meat of it, which is the production, right? This typically takes the longest. This is your content creation, your copywriting, your editing, really creating that idea. And then our most exciting part, which is the celebratory phase, which is posting. You actually get to export it, publish it, set it free. Hopefully it does well. But as us social media managers know, it doesn't stop there. There's one more phase, which is the reporting phase, making sure that we're getting performance analytics from it, we're learning from it, and we're also optimizing when we can. So this is really, really important, but this takes a long time, right? This is a lot of work, whether you're a one-man show, a three-person team, or even if you have a pretty robust team, chances are you're gonna be doing the same workflow for so many different campaigns. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if there were just a few tools you can use in these different phases to help speed things up and make you more efficient? Enter AI tools. All right, so I'm gonna be showing you guys some AI tools today that you can use in each of those different phases to help kind of speed things up and make you more efficient and ultimately free up your time to be doing the things that AI can't really do, which is working on the strategy, connecting with your audience through engagement, big picture things like that. So let's get into this. I want to show you guys some tools based on these different phases. Now, of course, you can use them interchangeably. You can switch them around. This is a choose your own adventure. This is just how I would like to use them and how I typically use them. So starting off, we've got the research phase, right? This is your brainstorming of the idea. This is your competitor analysis, whether you're working on an overarching strategy or a campaign or a singular post. It all starts with an idea, right? You're like, okay, what am I gonna think of? What is this campaign gonna be about? I need to gain some insights. So, as we dive into this AI conversation, I wanted to start off by just like dipping our toes in and talking about one that we're all very familiar with, our good old pal, ChatGPT. Now, there are a million different ways you can use ChatGPT, right? For this presentation, I'm just gonna show you a use case of how you can use it for the research stage. Now, we've all been there, right? Or at least tell me you have to make me feel better, because I know I've been there, where it's typically Friday after 3 p.m. and I have to think of some content ideas. And I've been with this company for so long and I've tried so many different ideas, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just hitting a brain block, you know? Writer's block, idea block, content block, whatever you wanna call it. So here's an example of you can use ChatGPT in this research and ideation phase. You can actually type in ideas that you want to use for a bakery. Say you have a company for a bakery, and it gives you all these different Instagram content ideas, just like that, in one click. It gives you the title and the description, and it's so helpful. Now, of course, best case scenario, you're like, oh my God, one of these ideas is brilliant. I want to use it. Perfect. This is right on brand. But another scenario is maybe one of them's not perfect, but one of them does kind of get you thinking, probably don't want to do behind the scenes of this, but we could do a behind the scenes of something else. Maybe it's not your baker's, maybe it's the actual cookies and cupcakes that you're selling at your bakery. Whatever it is, ChatGPT can be used as a tool and kind of like a brain thinking partner for you to just get those creative juices flowing. So this is a really helpful tool that I like to use in the research stage. And one other thing I want to note is the more description you give it and details, the better it's going to generate for you. For example, we typed in ideas for Instagram content for a bakery, but you can add a second sentence to that. For example, you could say, our best performing posts are behind the scenes of new products. Now that it knows that, it's going to generate ideas for you that will be more accurate to what's already performed well and probably help you create better ideas that are going to be having a lasting impact. All right, moving right along to the planning stage. So this is your brainstorming, this is your briefing, your pitching, things like that. And I don't know about you guys, but those presentations sometimes take a really long time, right? If you're making a presentation for pitching or briefing, or even if you want to make a presentation of your idea just to get yourself all sorted and organized, right? So one that I have to show you today is called Magic Design, and it's from Canva. And what it allows you to do is just type in exactly what kind of presentation you want. So for this example, we have an onboarding plan for a new employee, and it will generate all the slides for you. Now, of course, it's not a mind reader. It's not going to have exactly all the right words, but this cuts so much time and makes you so much more efficient in the planning phase, because all you have to do is replace the text. But the presentation, the skeleton of it, the flow of it, that's all done for you. So this one's generating a onboarding plan for Val, but you can just as easily type in, generate a social media briefing document for me to brief the creative team on, and it'll do that for you. So again, just cutting time and makes things so much easier in that planning stage. Another one I like to use for the planning stage is text to image. Now, I'll admit it, I am not a very artistic person. It's just not who I am. I've tried. But that doesn't mean I don't have good ideas. I just sometimes have a hard time getting my ideas from head to paper, or rather screen, because we don't use paper anymore. But text to image is super helpful in that storyboarding phase. So what I like to do is whenever I have an idea that I need to communicate to someone, that I need to brief to the creative team, I like to use text to image to make sure that the vision is really clear in the storyboard. So as you can see here, you can actually type in something. So here we're typing in a very specific photo of a koi fish in a pond. And you can actually choose the style, and it'll generate multiple different images for you. So imagine just doing this for your storyboard to make sure that whoever you're briefing or pitching an idea to gets across so clearly. What I always like to say is communication takes time. Miscommunication takes even more time. So it's so important in the planning phase to be really clear with things. And this is a really helpful AI tool that will allow you to do that. Similar to that, this is an AI tool from NVIDIA, and just like text to image, it generates things from text, but now to video. So you can type in exactly what you need here, and it will generate a multitude of different options for you of the video that you wanted. Again, you can use this for maybe a more robust storyboard, or you can even use this for the final content. Maybe it's background in the content. However you want to use this is fine with me, but just showing you it's really great for that communication phase and the planning phase of this is what I want it to look like. All right, moving on to the production phase. Now this is the meat of all of it, right? This typically takes the longest and has the most people involved. So we wanna see how we can make this more efficient. So the first one I have here is actually from Hootsuite. Their AI tool is called Owly AI because their little logo is an owl. I just think it's the cutest thing. So you can use ChatGPT, you can use Magic Write on Canva, you can even use Meta's Llama, which is another silly name. But this one I'm going to show you is from Hootsuite, and it actually allows you to create a caption just based on a subject. So as you can see here, all you have to type in is the objective of the post. So we're closed April 19th because we're picking up trash at the beach for Earth Day. You can't actually post that on Twitter, right? That's plain Jane, that's boring. But what it does is it allows you to do that, and then you can click on the tone, and it will generate a bunch of options for you for your actual post. This saves so much time. And another really cool thing is you can actually turn web content into posts. So if you have a blog or a newsroom article, you can just type it in, it will read that article and create captions for you. Now, if you want to just copy and paste the caption it provides, awesome, all power to you. But I think the more important part of this is that it really helps you get going when it comes to the copy, because we've all run into copy block. We don't know what to say. We don't know how to make it in the right tone. So this is a really helpful tool to at least get the ball rolling and get started, making your time for copywriting so much shorter and making the effort you're putting into this so much more efficient. So the next one I have here is actually a few different ones from Canva. Now, I've been in this situation, hopefully you have too. Sometimes when you go through the production phase, you go through all of the photo shoots, you're like, that went awesome, we wrapped early, perfect. And then an hour later, or a day later, or even a week later, hopefully not that late, you realize, oh my God, I shot in landscape and I was supposed to shoot in portrait. Or, oh my God, the model had on a purple shirt, they were supposed to have on a pink shirt. Or, oh my God, I didn't leave any space for the text overlay. Whatever it is, you realized it too late. It's happened to the best of us. It's happened to me, I will admit it. Instead of starting all the way back at square one, instead of doing a full photo shoot again, we don't want to do that. No one has time for that. We need to be efficient. Here are some really cool AI tools you can use to fix your mistakes, not have to go back to square one, but also, even if you didn't make a mistake or miss something, it gives you a lot more options to work with. So the first one I have here is called Magic Expand. It allows you to upload a photo and then expand it to any direction. So it could be the whole page, it could be a 9:16, whatever it is. But it uses the information in the photo to generate the outside photo and more of the photo. Another example we have here is called Magic Edit. Magic Edit allows you to highlight any portion of the image and change it. So you can generate whatever you want to change it into. This is great if you accidentally have the wrong product or wrong color, or just need to change something really tiny. And then the third one I have here is actually called Magic Grab. It allows you to select any element within an image and just move that. This is so helpful for social media managers when you need to add text overlay and you didn't leave any room for it. So these are just some really cool tools that you can use to make sure that you don't have to start back at square one, that you can really optimize your content and make the most of it. All right, moving on to video now. I have some cool AI video tools that I wanted to show you guys. So in this example, we have multiple different clips and we want to edit them all together. We don't know which one to use. We also don't really have time to edit all of them together. You can describe the type of video you want and it will actually generate it for you. So it will edit all of the clips together and even add text and music, and it just cuts so much time and makes it so much more efficient. Now, of course, if you're on a time crunch, you can just use it as is. But if you want to add your own flair to it, you absolutely can. But being able to use this, it just cuts down that time and gives you a better starting point, right? Now, if you have the opposite issue, maybe you just have one big long form video and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? I cannot post a 10-minute video on Instagram. That's just not how things work. And oftentimes, I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but sometimes when there's big campaigns, teams will often prioritize that long form content instead of the social content, which is no bueno for us. So this is a really cool tool from Descript, and it allows you, in this example, we uploaded a long form podcast, right? And then you can go to it and ask it for bite-sized social media clips. So it will go and create all these different social media clips for you, complete with a title and description on each clip, so you know exactly which one's which, it's all organized, and you can decide which one you want to use for which platform. All right. Whew, that was a lot of production, but hopefully we made it more efficient going through the different AI tools there. Fourth one I have for you guys is posting. So this is our celebratory phase, right? This is, oh my God, we're finally done. We can set it live. Hopefully it does well. This is your exporting and publishing. So I don't know about you guys, I've been here before where I have been like, okay, I'm gonna have the Twitter copy, I have the Twitter image, I'm gonna post it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, actually, this would be really good on LinkedIn. And also, This fits with our Instagram strategy, the new one that we just created, but I don't have approved copy for that. I didn't spend time making copy for that. So this tool on Buffer, what it allows you to do is it allows you to upload the Twitter copy, as you can see here, and then you want to change it to LinkedIn. So all you have to do is click on LinkedIn and click rephrase for LinkedIn, and it will populate that copy, really keeping the meat of your original text, but making it so that it's better suited for LinkedIn. It understands that LinkedIn is a place that's more professional and that you need to speak differently, but it still keeps that. And as you can see here, you can also do it with Instagram. But this is such a quick way to really be efficient with your work and being able to quickly switch something to make sure that it's correct for the platform. And you're probably thinking, okay, great, Lauren, now that I have all these different copies, but I need different content. You know, we've seen that videos work on LinkedIn, but they don't work on Twitter, whatever. Well, I have another tool for you. So this is Canva Magic Switch. What it allows you to do is with a click of a button, change it from a story to a 1x1 to even a video. So when you create something that's really, really great, and you can just immediately transfer it to a different spec of it, which is awesome. And it could be that maybe you did the wrong spec in the first place, or maybe you're just optimizing it and you're like, this did so well in IG stories. I want to put it as a 1x1 on Facebook, whatever it is. And I'm going to take it one step further now. One of the best compliments I get at my work is when our international team messages me and is like, hey, Lauren, we love this post. We want to put it on our international channels. And I'm like, oh my God, you liked it that much? Yes, of course you can put it on your international channels. But most of our international channels are in a different language. So what we have at Canva is called Magic Switch across languages. Now, you can do this across documents, you can do this across presentations, social posts, whatever it is, but you can click Magic Switch, choose from hundreds of different languages, and it'll switch it with just a click of a button. This saves so much time because maybe your international team is like, yep, I just want to take this Instagram post and post it. Or maybe they're like, we want to switch it up a little bit, but we want to see your go-to-market deck. We want to see your presentation for social. I can translate it so easily. And just like you would do with Google Translate, you want to make sure that it's still accurate. But instead of your international team having to go through every text box and translate every single one, now all they have to do is go through it and make sure that it's all correct. There's no typos. All the humor translates, hopefully. It just saves a lot of time and makes your posting so much more efficient. It makes you a better collaborator because now all the teams know that you can easily give them content with just a click of a button. All right, we made it to the last one. This is reporting. Now, as I mentioned before, unfortunately, we're not done at the posting phase. We have reporting, but this is really important because we want credit for our hard work, right? You want to be able to brag about all the impressions, all the engagement, all that good stuff, right? So we want to get those performance analytics. We want to get all of that optimization done. So I have a few tools that you can use for this. The first one here is from Hootsuite again. So this is from Owly Writer AI. I just love that name. I think it's the cutest thing. So with this, if your channels are connected to Hootsuite, which maybe some of you already use Hootsuite, you can actually go here and repurpose your top posts. So you can click on whichever platform you want, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want. It'll give you those top posts, and then it will like rephrase the captions and redo the captions for you. This is so great when it comes to those times where you're like, oh my God, we have a space in our content calendar. What are we gonna post? Or maybe it posted really well from the previous year and you wanna repurpose it, but you don't wanna just copy and paste, right? So this is a really helpful tool that is on Hootsuite and like so easy to use when optimizing content. And then the last one I have for you here is, there we go. The last one I have for you here is the really bulk of the reporting, right? People want to know how many impressions there are, how many engagements there are, all those big numbers. But why do they want to know all of that? Well, they want to know that because they want to be able to draw qualitative data from it, right? So what's really cool about this AI tool from Brand24, in this example, it's Nintendo. They wanted to do a report on their new Zelda game. It pulls out all the trends from your social posts that went live, and it even picks out all the times it peaks, whether it's mentions, reach, and then it gives you insights on why it may have peaked during those times. Again, already making you so much more efficient and cutting down the time you would use. But my favorite part is this recommendations, because that's ultimately what your team is asking for, right? When they ask for all those numbers, when they ask for the report, they're ultimately asking for recommendations, either for a quick move forward or maybe for the next campaign that's coming up in a year or a few months or whatever. This really allows you to get a jump start on your reporting. I don't know if any of you guys work in reporting. I have for a little bit. It takes so much time to write these reports. So it's really helpful to have AI technology like this that immediately pulls all these top marks. And then you, as a social media professional who knows your brand best, can kind of look at these and decide what's going to be the most important to pull out, or what's kind of your starting thought. You're like, yeah, that insight that the AI pulled was really smart. And because of all this knowledge I have of the company, it's also XYZ, and you can just go from there. Again, these are really great starting tools that will allow you to be more efficient in this phase. All right, that was a lot, right? We went through a lot of AI tools. Hopefully some of them are helpful to you guys. Hopefully some of them made you think, yeah, our production phase takes a long time. This one would be really helpful. But before we go, I just wanted to give you guys a few key takeaways. So first and foremost, AI tools are tools, right? This is like the elephant in the room. AI tools are not replacements, they are tools. They're gonna help you be better. They're going to help you be more efficient. Number two, these tools allow you to bridge communication gaps. Kind of like that example I gave in the planning phase, saying that I'm not very good at getting my ideas from my head onto paper and communicating that to people. These tools will allow you to be better communicators and have everyone be on the same page from the planning phase, so there's no confusion at the end after production or post-production. Number three, AI tools, as you've seen throughout this presentation, they allow you to have more efficiency. They allow you to be more efficient and cut down your time. What are you gonna do at that time? Well, you can use your time and energy now to work on the things that AI probably can't do. The strategy, the engaging with your audience, the engaging with your influencers as well, finding that, making those relationships. That's what's really important, and because you've used the AI tools on the things that AI can do and make faster, now you have all of that time. More efficiency equals a stronger brand, right? Because if you have all this time to work on those, I hate to use this corporate thing, but move the needle. Now you have the time to work on all the things that can actually move the needle. That's going to help you have a stronger brand. Number four, it's only going to get better. Now, I know this might sound scary, it being AI is only going to get better, but you should really look at it from a very excited perspective. I can't speak for other companies, but at Canva, we have what's called Canva Shield, which is a program, kind of a security tool, that makes sure that all of our AI products are being used in a safe and ethical way. You can read more about it on our website if you'd like, but I think it's really important moving forward, especially as things get better, to have that in place. 5, stay curious. I really encourage you guys to stay curious on the different tools of AI, how AI is changing the game. Whether you guys are very well versed in AI or you're learning about it for the first time right now, just stay curious. It's an exciting time, and it's important to always be in the know. And number 6, AI won't be a better social media manager than you, but you can be a better social media manager with AI. Right? This is a tool. Going back to our number 1, AI tools are tools. I always like to use the example of the mathematician, right? Calculators didn't replace mathematicians, they made mathematicians better. They made it so that mathematicians could do those quick little formulas on it so they can work on the big picture, on the real reason they're doing it in the first place. And that's what AI tools are for you. They're helping you be more efficient along the way so you can use your talented brain power on the things that matter and the things that are really going to benefit your brand. And lastly, just a really quick one, just a really tiny one. I know we don't really know where AI is gonna go, right? No one knows. So just like a little tip for you guys, say thank you to AI, just in case this goes a little iRobot, you never know. When you're typing into ChatGPT, just add a little thank you at the end. It doesn't hurt. Anyways, all jokes aside, thank you so much for having me today. I've so appreciated you guys listening to all this. I know we're not taking questions right now during this, but I'm so looking forward to meeting you guys afterwards and answering any questions you may have. And if you want to learn more, I've spoken about AI on a number of podcasts if you want to scan any of these or save. But yes, thank you so much for having me today. I hope you learned something. Thank you.